You are about to watch a Top Hat production. Please subscribe and click on notifications. Enjoy the show.
Hey, everybody, I hope that you're having a really grand day today. This is Minister Charles Nolen, as you can see by my name on the screen. Hello. Look, I just wanted to talk to you about all sorts of things that may be of interest to you as well as me, and such as like Kash Patel, Pam Bondi. What do you think of what you saw in Congress when Pam Bondi was in front of Congress and the Democrats attacked her every which way but loose? What do you think of Ilhan Omar and everything that she's done? You know, all this corruption and all the corruption that is actually going on in Minnesota. What do you think should be done about it? Do you think people should be canned from Congress because of their total illegal thievery that they have done against the United States of America and the citizens of the entire country, as well as the Minnesotans that live there? It doesn't seem really fair that they get away with it, because if you and I did it, we'd be like walking out the back door in handcuffs, getting ready to go to jail for an extended period of time. And even if we got like a short thing to a trial, we'd probably be sentenced to 5 to 20 years, maybe even longer. Maybe because of the amount of money, it would be like 40 years. But Congress people, they seem to be able to get away with anything. It just doesn't seem fair at all, to be perfectly honest with you. And I don't really appreciate that and or respect that they can do that. It just doesn't seem fair. You know, I don't actually get it. And I wish that we could do something more about it. The other thing I want to talk to you about, folks, is what is going on with Nancy Guthrie. That is Samantha Guthrie's mom. I want to tell you a little something, just a real brief thing. Samantha Guthrie is a famous newscaster, I believe on ABC, like one of the good morning shows or something. And she did one of the first interviews with the first victim of the Jeffrey Epstein files. And it's interesting that that coordinates with retaliation potentially, where it could come back and bite her by them taking her mother. And God only knows what they did with her. And I hope that she's alive. I hope that she gets returned. I am in fear that they are retaliating against Samantha Guthrie for her interview with the first victim, which kind of like set everything that's happening today in motion for the public and for our government to want every Jeffrey Epstein file disclosed and not redacted. It's just a consideration, folks. I mean, you can look this up online. It's not it doesn't take Einstein to figure this out. It really is a problem, and I know that we can fix this very much if we talk about it. I also did something very interesting. I took a couple of photographs of the guy that came in the video that the FBI spent all their time at Quantico or working with Google to bring out the video. God only knows if they got some audio too. But I took some of the shots of the head dress or the ski mask thing that was on his head and his eyes and his mustache and his eyebrows, and I took it to a program called Deep AI, and I put two of these photographs, one where he's looking straight on and one where his head is turned, part of the way or halfway to an angle where you'd see like where his ear impression would be. And I asked Deep AI to give me a close proximity to what the person's image would look like if the ski mask was removed and there was a little light on the subject, and it brought me back an image. I don't want to put that out there. I put it out on X, and if you go to my X account, you'd be able to find it. But it's not, I don't know. I sent it to all the news organizations, and not one of them used it. So I have no idea why they don't use it, because it wasn't like I was trying to, hurt anybody or do something against anybody particular, because it didn't. DeepAI.com did not create a use a real person to create the image. It artistically renders what it thinks the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the facial configuration looks like, and it makes a reasonable approximation of what the person would look like if they had some light on their face and they weren't wearing a ski mask. I would love for you to see that. All you'd have to do is go to my profile on X and maybe even on Facebook. But still, I would love for you to see it. I just don't want to put it out here because this is broadcast simultaneously on multiple channels and it's live. So, I don't want the wrong person to get the wrong idea and see it. And I don't want to work against the police departments. Speaking of which, how do you say it? Pima Police Department, the sheriff over there, taking the glove and sending it to his Florida DNA analysis people and not giving it to the most sophisticated, advanced Quantico FBI laboratories for immediate identification and to maximize the use of every speck of DNA blows my mind. The sheriff is arm wrestling with the FBI. They want to be in charge. I don't think that's the smartest thing the sheriff should be doing right now. If he's thinking about Samantha and her sister and brother and the rest of the family, he should be thinking, we'll do whatever it takes. And if the FBI is coming in here and offering $100,000 for the capture and to bring back Nancy and to capture the crook that caused this kidnapping, I would, Pima Sheriff, I would get your act together and give everything over to the FBI post haste and stop standing in the way because you think you have better leverage. You want to maintain control. You're not as big as the FBI. You could think it all you want. You can think, well, I have these arrangements. I got to keep them. Don't. Let Quantico have everything that you have. Share it with them first and foremost. Stop thinking that you can do a better job or as good a job, and let them help you and assist you in every way possible to bring back Nancy Guthrie. However they can bring her back. In Jesus' mighty name, I hope alive, and I hope back to the family who loves her very, very much. But again, Kash Patel's working on this with the entire FBI, and he has put the disposal of every persons that he can afford to put out there in the field and in Quantico and everywhere to do the analysis for this, to track this person down in so many ways. We don't really know what AI capabilities that between Google and Quantico and, how they were able to recover that video data and, it was pixelated maybe, and they still reassembled it by, approximations of what would be there. I don't know how they did what they did. They may have audio and they're just not sharing it with us because they want to keep some stuff close to the chest. What's going on with the person that's saying, I want a Bitcoin and I'm going to blast out who the person is that abducted Nancy Guthrie? Is that real? I mean, honestly, if you're watching this program right now, whoever you are, Mr. Bitcoin, why would you do it like that? You're not offering any confidence to help the FBI or the Pima Sheriff's Department or the Guthries, most importantly, to get their mom back by saying, you know what, I'll, the award of $100,000 is far more than the value of a Bitcoin. So if I was you, I'd look like an innocent citizen who was, tuning people into a how to get Nancy Guthrie back, and you'd get more money that way anyway. So, lighten up, friend, whoever you are, and help the situation. Stop looking for ways to benefit financially from it. And anybody out there that's trying to benefit financially from this, shame on you. because this isn't something that I would want to do if it was my mother, your mother, or any of our mothers. This is wrong, what's going on out there. And we need to capture this crook and these crooks if there are multiple people involved. And we need to bring Nancy Guthrie back to the family so they can be rejoined together. On the other thing, what's going on in Minnesota is a crying shame. Ilhan Omar, the governor of Minnesota, the Frey mayor, as far as I'm concerned, every one of them, not only do they not need to run again, they need to be expelled, from their positions, post haste. What's funny is that if you and I did the same kind of crime, we'd be heading to jail real quick. And we would have to wait there until a judge decided what our future looked like. But not with them. Their governor, their mayor, they're a congresswoman and congresspeople. I put all these, think about it. I hear it on the news and I hear it on all the YouTube channels all the time. Look at all the people in 1 year went from, I had negative $12,000 in my account, and now I have like $6-7 million. I had like $10,000 in my account at the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year I have $30 million, but I can't justify it, and I can't show you the businesses, other than like create some kind of a paper thing. I can't show it to you and say, here's how I did it. Because they've been investigated and everything has been proven to be a lie and misleading. There is no wine vineyard or anything like that. With $30 million, they'd have to have all that and wine tasting and everything else. They don't have it. Ilhan Omar and her husband are crooks. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so we're all entitled to our opinion, So don't be afraid to voice it. Because if we all live in fear, they're going to win. They're just going to walk all over us. Anybody. Anybody. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, or anything. Anybody who can walk all over us and make us feel scared and intimidate us is making us go against what God expects from us. And he says, do not fear. And as a minister, I have to tell you the truth. God says, do not fear. So we don't want to live in fear about any of this stuff. We want to face the truth. I saw some stuff last night about Jeffrey Epstein. I'm jumping around, folks, so don't, get me wrong. I'm disgusted with Jeffrey Epstein and his girlfriend that's in a nicer jail now because she divulged some information, which I don't know what or how much information she divulged, but no pedophile has ever been put into the jail that she's in at all. And they give her special privileges for what she did. Again, she's like a governor, a mayor, a very highly important person. Her father was extremely important. And, people are afraid to die. They're afraid to die because they think they're going to be killed for speaking their mind. It's just not the way it is, folks. If we get killed, they're going to get caught. They are going to get caught. Now, I've heard people out there say, I know I could get away with murdering, like, for instance, me, and I could make it look like a suicide. Really? Are you serious? The fact that you even think of saying something like that to me proves how crazy you really are. It just is, it's insane. And instead of helping solve the problems, you want to scare everybody from participating in resolutions that would help our society become less criminal, less violent, less anarchy, all of it. Folks, we need to, get along with all the countries. But we got to figure out who Jeffrey Epstein was in bed with. Oh, that could be hundreds, maybe even thousands of girls and guys. And in bed doesn't just mean sex in bed or sleeping in a mattress. It also means like who his partners were and who financed him and who helped him put together his planes, his island, his money to do what he does. Is Jeffrey Epstein, now here's a question for you that really has been crossing my head a lot recently. Is Jeffrey Epstein really dead? Did he really kill himself? Or was it a very sophisticated, like, military op that came in, made it look like whatever it was, like a body died in his jail cell, hung himself, and they carted out a body that looked like Jeffrey Epstein, but it really wasn't. Jeffrey's now free and somewhere else going around, apparently, we hear, with a beard or something like that, somewhere in the world. But I don't know what the truth is. But I wouldn't doubt it for a minute when, with the amount of money he has and the amount of influence he has and the shame he could bring upon more people that maybe hasn't, all the information about Jeffrey Epstein may have not been able to be released because maybe not all the information has been gathered that Jeffrey Epstein had. Maybe he had places that he stored information that nobody knows about. And he's still got favors. He's able to call in from people that owe him, and owe him because if they don't come up and help him, he'll disclose the information about them. And so, like the victims, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you. I saw a victim, a brunette, last night, but she said she was told to dye her hair blonde and everything when she was like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old, and she was cursing her head off on this like podcast, and she was so angry at what the Epstein and Maxine did and influenced her, and they really made this girl feel like if she did anything wrong, if she breathed the wrong way, she'd be dead and disappear. This is wrong. This is so wrong that we have people in our world today that make people feel this way. We've got to dig these people out of the cracks and put them where they need to be so they can rest in a mental health hospital for the rest of their natural lives. How about that? So they can't threaten people and scare and intimidate people, use money to influence or power and military forces against other people. That scare the living bejesus out of a lot of people. Children taken advantage of by these lunatics. I'll say it, lunatics, pedophiles. It's got to stop. And we've got to be part of the solution, folks. Really, we do. And we need to do something about it now. Not yesterday, now. In Jesus' name, I pray for the resolution to all of this to come to us now. We have to do this. So wake up, run a comb across your head, drink a cup of coffee, and put your thinking cap on and write how you can help make our world a better world to live in. What do your eyes see? What do your ears hear? How can you contribute to make things better in a legitimate way and help? That's what I want to do. That's what I do on this program. That's what I do on my broadcasts, is try to find ways to encourage others to be the best person that they can be and become active in their country, in their government, in their world, in their society, so they can participate. People, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, whatever you are, it doesn't really matter. That's not the point. The point is we got to have civility. We've got to have, to follow the Constitution. We got to follow the law, not make it up as we go along, or like mass media does it for the most part. If we don't like what Donald Trump says, we're going to create TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. No matter what, we're going to say something. But despite Trump, despite how much he saved everybody money, we're going to say something despite himself to make sure that it looks like he didn't do what he said he did, because we can't go along with his good things because it makes him look good, and we've got to make it sound twisted like it looks bad. This is how the mass media, Axios, I think, has been attacking Trump like that, and God only knows what other media that Trump calls fake media, or the fake news media. he points at the cameras in the newsroom. I mean, not in the newsroom, in his conference rooms and things like that, because they say the grandest garbage because they just hate Donald Trump for no good reason. Just because, well, actually, their good reason in their mind is he has disrupted the financial card, the natural progression of the finances that they have designed. He's draining the swamp. He's equalizing the United States of America so that all civilians that live in this country are benefiting and raised up, not just the wealthy and the few, which the Democrats, for the most part, want the few to be raised up, even though that you got people like Bernie Sanders saying, oligarchs, Donald Trump and oligarchs. Well, guess what? Bernie Sanders has his own private jet. He blows more gas up in the air than a lot of people. He takes AOC around, or AOC now takes herself around. I don't even get it. I mean, the oligarchs, it's not, they're projecting, in my opinion. They're projecting what they're doing on Donald Trump and the Republican Party. It's just, that is the fact that is happening. That's just what it is. You got to wake up to it and say, that's really true. That's what's happening. I mean, look at all the good things that Donald Trump has done, and they're trying to take every ounce of credit from him so that midterms come around and the Democrats get put back in power. So they got to say they got to line up all media. They got to line up everybody they can, every wealthy oligarch organization that they can come together and put all their money together so they can nail Donald Trump to a cross of he is the wrong guy. And he's not. He's the right guy. And he's trying to help us, and they're trying to make it look like he is not trying to help us, but he's out for himself and his rich people, his rich friends. At this point, I wouldn't care if he was out for his rich people. I know he's doing good by every person, black, white, Chinese, Asian, Indian, every person that lives in America. He wants our country to be safe. He wants us to be sovereign, which means to have borders and to have a legitimate system for coming into our country. That's good. That's real. But you ask the Democrats if that's good, and they'll say no. You know why? You know why they don't want voter ID? You know why they don't want borders and they want them to come in flooding over the walls and straight up into the country? Because they just want the votes. They want voters, and they don't want them tied up in bureaucratic nonsense like voter ID and all that kind of stuff. But don't you think it's fair, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, or any party you are, that voter ID happens and you get one because you're an American citizen? Whoever you are that's an American citizen, you deserve to have a voter ID. Not only your driver's license, but an ID to vote. This is a good thing. This way, we're not just getting anybody who crosses the border voting the way they tell them to vote. Because, think about it. All those people that crossed over the border, besides crooks, villains, 14%, like 60,000 people, or murderers, rapists, and everything else. And Katie Couric on the other news on the other day with Rand Paul is like acting like 14% is nothing. I don't think she knows what she's talking about. I think she's gotten so old in her head, her brain slowed down, and she doesn't have enough editorial information in her head to be able to calculate what the truth is. And so she'll say anything to join the team. Let's screw Trump. Let's make it look like Trump derangement syndrome has to be in place in order to be able to make this country work better. But it's bullshit. I'm so sorry. It is complete bullshit. Trump's way is a good way for us all, and we will all benefit from it. A lot of people lack patience, and they don't want to wait. And look, I could be accused of the same thing. I don't want to wait. I want to see my money now. I want my $2,000 check right now. He's trying to get it to us, folks. He's trying to get it to us. Everything I've been reading, it's kind of October, November, December of 2026. Kind of like tentatively trying to get $2,000 to us. Elon Musk somehow came up with a $5,000 figure. Now, I don't know where he's coming up with that figure, but we also have to pay down our debt. How many trillion was it? 30 what? Trillion dollars? So we got to do that, and it'd be nice if we all got a couple of $1,000s in our pockets to help take care of our own expenses. And I've heard Donald Trump say many times that, let Americans pay, for invest in their own health care with this money or some money, maybe a different money, maybe $2,000 that you can put in your savings account that will come in October, November, December, and maybe a different amount that will come soon that will be for insurance and for you to purchase your own correct insurance. Or like, let's say you have a dental plan that doesn't cover everything now because you had half your mouth done and you still need the other half done, but your insurance doesn't cover it. If he gave you that extra couple of $1,000s, you may be able to get both sides of your mouth taken care of. How about that? Wouldn't that be nice? Or what if you needed some kind of procedure done and you needed an elevated insurance that would cover the cost of doing that? You might be able to get it if you had this extra money. Now, we have to help Donald Trump, not discourage him, but encourage him. Encourage him to help us. Encourage him to know that, yes, Donald Trump, we support you, we love you, we care about you, we know, we agree with you, we want you to take care of us, we want you to take the United States to the Make America Great Again philosophy, make America healthy again, make America just beautiful again, okay? We can do this together, folks, not just Donald Trump by himself. I mean, how hard is it for one man to change the world? Well, Donald Trump, for the lack of better words, has done one of the most remarkable jobs I've ever seen in my 65 years of living in changing so many things about this world that are corrupt, indecent, and are toxic to us. And he's handpicked so many good people in his cabinet, from the leader of the Secretary of the Defense, the Department of Justice, the FBI director, Judge Janine, even in Washington, D.C. Just so many people that he has picked. I love his Secretary of the State, Marco Rubio. He's Cuban, and he's fantastic, and he's smart as a whip, and I love him. And I love our Republican Congress. I'd hate to lose it in the midterms. Honestly, I would, because that's what the Democrats want. They want to get the power back, and that's it. Once they have that power back, watch how fast they drop the borders again. Watch how fast we're going to start being, and debt's going to go way up again, and all the problems that you think that you're not having now, that you will come back to you tenfold or worse, fast. The Democrats, Chuck E. Cheese, Chuck Schumer, and the Senate leader in the Senate, and Jeffries in the Congress. For the Democrats, both sides, they need to, sit down at the table and develop a common sense plan with the Republicans. I mean, all I hear, and if you hear anything, I'm sure you hear something similar to this, is, oh, it's going to come up and we're going to shut down the government again. And who's saying it? Not the Republicans, the Democrats. They want to control, they want to control, they want to control so they can get everything the Democrats want. And they think that they represent you, that they are representing you correctly, that they think that they're helping you. Well, what I've seen between you and me, folks, is that most of these Democrats, if not all of them, are representing themselves. They may not say, I'm representing myself. I care about the citizens. I love the citizens, and I'm going to take care of the citizens. They'll swear up and down that that's what they're doing, but they're not. They're taking care of themselves. They're comrades. It's sad, but it's true. And we need to look at a healthy America, an America that is fair and balanced, And, you know, I, somebody needs to tell us how to have a country, how wide borders are necessary, and to explain it to us, to make peace around the world. First president to ever accomplish so much in such a little short period of time. And then for the lousiest prize you could ever want in your life. And I mean, it's the lousiest prize. And I appreciate the lady that gave her Nobel Prize to President Trump, but the Nobel Company or whatever they are, they said, we're not going to honor that. We're not even going to write it in the books. That's BS. That's not. Trump doesn't deserve that. TDS, folks. Trump derangement syndrome. That's all it is. They don't care if he's doing right. They want to make you think he's doing wrong. I tell you, our president, so help me God. I love God with all my heart and soul. And I feel the influence in our country heading in the right direction. Might not be as fast as we'd like it, but it's going in the right direction. And I know it. I know it. I communicate with God. I pray. I pray with my family. I pray with my church. And I know we're heading in the right direction, folks. So I hope to God you're praying too. Because you need a relationship. We were found on Christian values, folks. The United States was found on Christian values. Now all of a sudden we're going to act like they're thrown out the window? Please. As Christians, we love the Jews. We do. We love the Jews and we love Christians and we love the people that want a better society. We want a fair and balanced way of life. We want a country. We want what God wants for us. We want to know what God wants for us. We don't want to just take control, take over, and destroy the country. I can't believe the amount of Democrats that are out there that absolutely feel like they're going to have a heart attack if I say Trump one more time. Like if I'm pro-Trump, they feel like they're going to be sick or have a heart attack or maybe just die because they can't handle it. Why? What has he done to you? Well, maybe you'd care to email me and explain to me what Donald Trump has done to you, because I really, honestly, would like to know what Donald Trump has done to you that has made you so upset at him that you would do anything to stop him from, being the president of the United States. It's not even relatively understandable. I have no idea why we're in this terrible position with the idea of not being able to make it so we can fix it. We need to fix this problem, folks. We need to make it so that we can have a better society. And I really believe that Trump is God's hand-picked person. I don't know if you know who Kim Clement is, but he is a wonderful individual, and he is somebody that I trust, and I think that he's a good man, and he is a prophet. If you'd like to email me, folks, here is my email address. Feel free to send me an email there, and I'll be happy to read it and respond to you. I have no problem with that. I do care about our society. I'm willing to talk to you through email or whatever. I'm not hiding. I'm easy to get to. I'm very identifiable. I have a very specific look. And I care about you, and I care about my family. I care about my community. I care about my country, my state. I care about all of it. And I don't want to see it all go to hell in a handbasket, like Governor Newsom. I don't need to call him names to make my point. He just, the train to nowhere. All the people that are living in tents in his cities, the dumpster-smelling sewage because he just doesn't care. And if he says he cares, what is he doing about it? And if President Trump offered to help him do something about it, Do you think he's going to say, okay, President, since I can't afford it, I really appreciate you coming in and helping me clean this up? Do you think he's even asked President Trump to help him? I don't think so. I don't think he wants help because he knows that if Trump looks good, he looks bad because he's not doing what he needs to do for his own state. And that's true of Tim Scott and Mayor Frey and all these people. Ilhan Omar, AOC, all these people need to be removed from their government positions and be replaced by people that are healthy and smart in a way that brings calmness and gives you a sense of peace while they're influencing our country and our states. Because the way they're being influenced now in Minnesota, it's complete corruption, and you have to see that. Anyway, I think Jeffrey Epstein is still alive and running around there somewhere around the world. And I really think he's got a lot of victims that would love to get a lot of stuff off their mind. They'd like to curse him out and everybody that had anything to do with it. I can hardly blame them. They were violently abused. They were raped. They were, this lady that I saw on the news podcast the other night, she said she was put in like a laboratory somewhere and they did some kind of something to her, and when she woke up she was on the table and she didn't really want to talk about what it is. I don't even know if she was sure what happened to her. You know, I could only guess. It's like, did they put drugs in her so she could transport drugs? What did they do to her? Did they I don't even want to speculate. But all I know is anything to do with Maxine and Jeffrey Epstein is corrupt, disgusting, pedophilia, and that stuff needs to be arrested and jailed for the rest of its life. And we need the cooperation of the Israeli empire or the prime minister or whatever to work together with all the financiers of the Epstein, Maxine, that whole legacy. That needs to be stopped completely. That's disgusting what they're doing with the kids. And then like this lady said, she's now 22, 23 years old, whatever, and now she's not a fool anymore, so she knows what not to do. But, she sees cars waiting for her. She's like living in a state of paranoia practically because she doesn't know if they're going to offer, like shoot her, kill her, take out her tires. She's had her tires slashed. Scary stuff. But we don't need to live in fear. As a minister, I'm telling you, God says, do not live in fear because he is with us eternally, internally, and he's with us for all time. And time has no beginning and no end for God. And he's in all times, at all places, simultaneously. There is nowhere you can go. Jeffrey Epstein, Maxine, no thought you can have that God isn't capable of seeing, hearing, even though you never uttered your lips to say it or wrote it down anywhere. God knows everything. So count on that. And this is what's coming. Our judgment day. We got to get ready. If we want to go to heaven and be with the people that are loving, kind, and healthy in a godly way, we need to get ourselves in line with God's way of doing things. So let's do that. On that note, I'm going to conclude today's program, and I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and know that I greatly appreciate you taking the time to sit here with me. Sorry I don't have more like video cutaways and excerpts from newscasts or scroll down the bar like some of these podcasts have, but I give you my heart and soul. I tell you what I've been watching and what I understand, and I share it with you. I keep it real with you, and like I said, I'm very grateful. I love you, my brothers and sisters, and I really hope that you will do everything in your power to make our country a better place to live, and that means do whatever it takes, okay? Whatever it takes. to help. Doesn't mean do whatever the Democrats tell you. Do the right thing, for God's sakes. For God's sake. Not for anybody else. God's sake. Not Democrats, not Republicans, not Libertarians, not the Green Party, not any party. What does God say that you should do? We really got to get in touch with that. We can't just live in some kind of an abyss where we think we're hearing from God. We got to know what God's trying to do for us. And God's willing to do that. But we have to be willing to receive and actively interested in what God has to say. Because one day we're going to be in front of God and he's going to like, do I know you? And if he knows you, he'll go, hey, come on in, you over here. You got your own house over here. Or depart from me, I don't know you. What do you want to hear God say to you? It's time right now to hear from God. You, individually, as a individual, forget about what I'm thinking. What do you think God is trying to tell you? And God will talk to you. You just got to develop a relationship with it. If you're not sure how, start with the Bible. Pick up a Bible, an NIV, a King James Version, an Amplified Version if you don't know how to read the Bible and it's too complicated and too many e's, these, and thous and all that stuff. The Amplified Version explains everything as simple as it possibly can. Anyway, folks, on that note, I say to you, I love you, and I look forward to bringing a new broadcast with new things and new content. Just help me. Subscribe, click on notifications, and send me an email. And God bless you. Enjoy the day.
Thank you for watching a Top Hat production.
Ohano ohil, salaweto, arund vashmeya, nith kadesh moch, tithe man kurfach, nihoe sobionach, ekenet vashmeya, of bara. Am Lachman de Sukonam Yomana Washboklan Albein de Watohain Iken Abdov Hanan Shbakin le Hailbein Leta'alan le National Elafaslan Men Bisha Medul Didlak He Malkuta Haila with Despota Leolan Alamin Amen.